Hi everyone, Nurse Steph here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a mental health and cosmetic nurse and today is an interesting topic. I want to talk about HA or hyaluronic acid fillers. It's one of the most common treatments or one of the most common things that are used when you get a cosmetic treatment. We will talk about its origin, history, and how it came about to Australia. Before we dive into the history and its origin, let's talk a bit about what exactly is hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring substance in our body, most condensed in joints, skin, eyes, and connective tissues. In cosmetic procedures or cosmetic aspects, it helps maintain volume or smoothness in the skin. It can also help with the youthful appearance of an individual. Hyaluronic acid, or as I will now refer to as HA because hyaluronic acid is such a mouthful. HA not only benefits us in cosmetic procedures, but it also helps cushion our joints because it attracts and retains a lot of water. This helps maintain our body's hydration, our flexibility in areas such as your synovial joints. It also plays a role in wound healing by reducing inflammation and cell migration. Now you might be wondering, how can we get HA? If it's naturally in our bodies, why do we need to put more in? So HA in filler form, there's actually two different types of methods that it can be produced. One method is by extracting this from animal tissues, namely in a rooster comb. So the red floppy top bit of a rooster, it contains high levels of hyaluronic acid. Who would have known? Commonly today though, thankfully, HA has been produced by biofermentation. This is non-animal derived, so it reduces the chances and likelihood of developing allergy reactions or ethical issues. Through non-animal processes, scientists use bacteria and yeast that goes through biofermentation to develop HA. A common bacteria they use is Streptococcus zooepidemicus, which is another mouthful, and try saying that 5 times. The bacteria or yeast is then given sugar and other nutrients to grow into hyaluronic acid. They then purify, stabilize, and this is what makes our modern hyaluronic acid. Now let's talk a little bit about how HA was first discovered and its origins. In 1934, a German biochemist, Dr. Karl Mayr, and his lab assistant, John Palmer, first discovered hyaluronic acid. Fast forward several decades later, and in the 1990s, it was when they first discovered that, hey, HA could actually be used in cosmetic treatments. Scientists and dermatologists actually realized how versatile HA could be. They figured that it could be injected into the skin to restore volume that has been lost over time, contour the face, or even smooth and even out some wrinkles. So when did the first HA hit the market? The first non-animal derived hyaluronic acid was first introduced in the market in the late 1990s. One of the most well-known brands, Restylane or Galderma, was actually approved to be used in Europe by 1996. This was a huge milestone in the cosmetic and aesthetic industry. Fun fact, the first hyaluronic acid that was used in cosmetic procedures was actually called Hyalform. It's now discontinued and was actually animal derived from rooster combs. In Australia, hyaluronic acid was first introduced in 1986 for procedures needing veterinary interventions. However, it wasn't until 2003 that the Therapeutic Goods Administration, or TGA, approved hyaluronic acid to be used in cosmetic treatments. Currently, the use of HA in intra-articular procedures is still being considered by the TGA. For those of you who don't know, the TGA is actually a regulatory body that is responsible for making sure that all medical devices and substances that we use are safe and effective. With the rise of popularity in cosmetic procedures, there's been a couple of changes recently, and it has been a whole topic in the cosmetic industry, but it's to ensure that what we do maintains safetiness for our patients and for our licenses as well. All the products that's available to be used in Australia have gone through vigorous evaluation to make sure that they are safe and effective to be used. So why are hyaluronic acid in filler form so popular? One of the reasons wise that they're familiar to our body. Hyaluronic acid is the same in all living things, so it's less likely for your body to perceive this as a foreign substance. This means that it shouldn't trigger an immune response and an allergic reaction. However, it's not impossible for that to happen. From personal experience, I've had some people come to me saying that when they're feeling ill or when there's a higher production of white blood cells and their body's trying to fight off an infection, their fillers or the areas where they got hyaluronic acid injected in have actually swollen up. But it also self-resolves once they're feeling a lot better. So if you do experience any of these things, make sure to reach out to your cosmetic nurse or doctor or any healthcare practitioner. If necessary, hyaluronic acid can be dissolved. So we have an enzyme called hyaluronidase that breaks down the acid, which then is able to be reabsorbed back into your body. This is very important when we come across vascular occlusion, for example, when the filler has been injected or accidentally added pressure to the veins or arteries in our face and our bodies. The occlusion causes a blockage and a disruption in the blood flow, and in very severe cases can lead to blindness. So it's very important that your healthcare practitioner has access to this enzyme, hyaluronidase, to be able to dissolve back the filler. If you have a known allergy reaction to bee stings, it's actually a contraindication for you to have hyaluronidase. So if you have a blockage, it can be very difficult to reverse. And this is another discussion you need to have with your cosmetic nurse or practitioner. Besides the swelling, the bruising, and the redness you can get from the cosmetic procedure involving HA fillers, the results otherwise are seen immediately. Unlike neurotoxin injections, which can take up to 2 weeks to reach its optimal results, HA fillers can give you fast results, but it can also have swelling, bruising, and potential tenderness at the site. This is another option for people who's wanting a faster result with some minimal downtime. Please remember that this is not a promotion. I am not trying to glorify the use of hyaluronic acid fillers, and please always consult with your healthcare practitioner. This is just for educational purposes only, and I hope you learned something new today. So there you have it. Hyaluronic acid fillers, which was first discovered in 1934, decades later being discovered as a cosmetic treatment. And now something that we all know, maybe not all, but most of us know, if you're in the cosmetic industry, it's one of the key things that we offer our clients. Also, there's always risks and side effects to all medical procedures, so make sure you make your own informed decision and make sure that you do your research on who you're getting the injections from, what you're getting inside your body, and what are the risks and the side effects. I will also link the AHPRA and the TGA website down below, so you can have a read about the information available there. And in the AHPRA website, you can look up your cosmetic nurse or doctor to make sure that they are able to practice wherever you are. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. If you learned something new or you have another topic you want me to cover, please comment them down below, and I will see you in my next video.